Democratic leadership held a swanky fundraiser in Napa, California over the weekend, and video of the event sparked backlash from conservatives who see hypocrisy in this unmasked event. Let's toss to the video and then we'll discuss how everyone's focusing on the wrong thing here.
We had in store for later, but for now. Question was asked this morning by Ambassador Solomon about young people and how we were reaching out to young people in the Olympics. Well, young people, we always ask them, how do you want to be reached out to? And one of the main responses.
Now, look, to be fair to conservatives who are now pretending to be concerned about super spreader events, while outdoor events are okay to, show up to unmasked, that's according to the CDC. People are sitting pretty close to one another, and it's probably not the best idea. But I also find it fascinating that all of the attention is on the hypocrisy of being unmasked and in close proximity to one another, when in reality, you read the details about the fundraising event, and maybe we should talk a little more about the money in politics angle. The breakfast fundraiser in Napa benefited the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, with tickets fetching at least $100, but they can go as high as $29,000. And I think that kind of corruption is an issue, but it's part and parcel of our political system, and that absolutely needs to change. The other thing that I don't think is being discussed quite enough is just how embarrassing it is when members of Congress dance. So let's take a quick look at that.
Refresh to death, always come correct. From the streets to the party, yeah, we get respect. Sucker MCs, they feet get cold, watching us rock a party with crowd control. From the left to the right, yeah, we rock all night. Explode on the scene like dynamite. Even a blind man say we out of sight. Kicking rhymes so ill that they wanna bite. Blast through your stereo.
Fun.
Okay, so to be clear, that's not from the same Napa event. That's Chuck Schumer, Senator Schumer, dancing with Stephen Colbert at a different event.
It's a different event?
Yes, at a different place.
I thought it was at the fundraiser.
No.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay. And Senator Schumer.
So Brett just grabbed a video of Schumer dancing?
Yeah, just for fun. Yeah, that's
okay,
right.
All right. Cool.
Okay, they're partying, so you might as well show them dancing. Senator Schumer got heat for that because in the middle of the Afghanistan mess, you're dancing with Colbert. I don't care about that at all. He's not with donors. Great, let him dance with Stephen Colbert. Colbert's a great progressive, as far as we can tell from what he says on TV. He might push Schumer in the right direction, and Schumer, go on with your bad self. So that I don't mind at all. The Napa Valley event, of course, a different situation. Number one, that's how long the video went, the Pelosi video. I wanted it to go longer just because I couldn't wait to see what she was going to say about how they're reaching out to younger voters.
People. Right.
Oh, please.
You want to reach out to young voters? Cancel student loan debt, federal student loan debt, cancel it. Get the executive branch to do it. They have the power to do it. Stroke of a pen, it's over. Young people, they'll love you.
Yeah, in reality, I know how they're reaching out to younger voters because I've seen them do it. And what they do is they invite a bunch of groups onto a call where they just talk at them, and then the groups that are in Washington and don't have any young folks in them at all, but Pelosi thinks they do, right? Will be like, oh yes, madam, yes, absolutely, we will do whatever you say, madam, right? And she thinks she's reaching out to younger voters. It's a joke, totally not true. Anna's of course right about the main issue here being fundraising. If you were a chair at this party, you gave $29,000, that was the max.
It's insane.
Although they'll always take more. A host gave $10,000, supporter gave $5,000. A friend, just a friend, gave $1,000. Guest is $250, tickets $100, that's the lowest one. So I wanted to give you the demarcations there of how much you could bribe Pelosi and the other Congress people there while you're there. Now, we just told you earlier on the show that we're giving Pelosi credit on actually pushing conservative Democrats on the infrastructure bill. And part of the way that she did that is she invited two of them to this fundraiser and gave them money. And then of course they're conservative, so they're like, oh yeah, sure, of course, I'll change my vote instantly. And so that worked. That's, I guess, leadership using bribery for the right reason for the first time ever.
Hey, silver linings.
Yeah. But overall, it's horrible optics. It's just like Gavin Newsom with his donors at French something
Laundry.
or other, Laundry, which is apparently a restaurant. And so
I mean, look, that video, that picture actually is being used against him pretty successfully in this effort to recall him, right? And by the way, I did sign the petition for the recall effort, not because I'm a conservative, but because I think that he's an awful governor. But I voted against the recall effort and made everyone in my building vote against the recall effort.
Because she made it.
I did, because I had to do my part. I signed that petition. My hope was that there would be a better candidate, and lo and behold, there was a long list of awful candidates. So I wanted to be honest with you guys about what I ended up doing. So
I'm gonna do one quick aside on that, and then I'll wrap up on the party. Here in California, leadership is totally and utterly corrupt in the Democratic Party.
Yes.
And so they're telling everybody, including all the way through Alex Padilla, the senator, California, one of obviously California's 2 senators, the other one is, honestly, as dementia and doesn't say anything. But Padilla is telling everybody, vote no on the recall, so Gavin Newsom can stay in office. But then on the other side of the ballot, where you vote for the alternative if Gavin Newsom loses, he says don't vote for anyone.
right.
That's what all the Democrats are saying. Now you think that's crazy. If the Democrat loses, wouldn't you want another Democrat to replace him instead of a Republican? And their answer is a resounding no. Why? Because if they can't control the Democratic candidate, then they'd rather have him lose. The Democratic leadership in California is so corrupt. If they don't have a fellow corrupt Democrat in, they're like, screw it, let's just let the Republican win. It's stunning. It's so bad that even Nate Silver's like, I don't get it. That seems counterproductive if you're a Democrat. Yeah, Nate, the establishment is corrupt. I guess that's breaking news to you. All right, last thing now, back to the party. Speaking of corruption. They're addicted, and addicts can't help themselves. They're hooked on the money. So they're like, it's awful optics. It might actually get us sick. A lot of us are old and potentially in danger of COVID, but we need the money, we need it. So let's get all these donors, let's pack them in close, and let's do what we always do, beg for money and bribes. So, and you think they don't listen to those guys? Oh, of course they listen to them. That's why they had the meeting in the first place. Why do you think somebody's paying $29,000? So they can tell Pelosi what to do.
Yep.
And that's how politics actually works. And I wish there was a single reporter in the country that would report it as such. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.